Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are Rocky.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Chicago Cubs. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers closing up a homestand and a series with the Cubs. The Dodgers have won 3 of 5. It's hard to believe May the 4th, but this is the last game of the year between the Dodgers and Chicago. The pitching for the Cubs, it'll be Carlos Zambrano with a record of 3-1. Switch hitter, probably the best hitting pitcher in the National League, certainly. And for the Dodgers, Ted Lilly, a good pitcher at 2-2. As far as the bat is concerned, he is 0 for 12. Dodgers and Giants pretty much tied. 1 percentage point separates them. They're 4 games behind the Colorado Rockies. Dodgers leave tomorrow and begin a road trip to New York and to Pittsburgh. We'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this.
Dodgers baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by San Manuel. Celebrate your birthday this year at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino and receive a special birthday package. Visit sanmanuel.com for details. You must be 21 to enter the casino. And welcome back to Dodgers baseball as LA looks to close out this homestand with a series win versus the Chicago Cubs with Steve Lyons and Patrick O'Neill. Andre Ethier scratched, and you asked Don Mattingly about this during his media session, and you said, hey, when are you going to give him a day off? I hope you didn't talk him into it.
No, I think that Don just finally took a little bit more of authority. As we said before, if you ask a player if he wants a day off, he's going to say no. But I think Ethier really needed a day off, and because of the off day and the next day, that's going to give him two. He comes back really refreshed, and if he has to pinch hit in this ball game today, he will.
They're calling it a left elbow inflammation. Does not appear to be serious. Let's get to our Hyundai Keys. It's the starting pitchers. It's Lilly versus Zambrano. Who has the advantage here today?
Well, you would think Zambrano, because he's been so good on the road. He's won 9 straight starts on the road. He's 16-1 over his last 17 decisions. The Dodgers beat him. And Ted Lilly, I think he's a guy that's starting to figure it out there on the mound. He's starting to come into his own groove. He's a guy that needs to go at least 6 innings. He did that in his last start. He beat San Diego, gave up just 5 hits and 1 run. And if Ted Lilly goes 6, that sets up your bullpen the way you want to see it.
Well, the Cubs know Lilly well. He pitched there, and they also hit 291 versus lefties, and they got Zambrano. But I like the Dodgers' chances. Chicago looking for its first series win in L.A. in 5 years.
Dodgers have to run today.
If you're looking to get more out of a new car, don't just go to an event. Join the movement at your local area Hyundai dealer. Buy Shakey's, win a pizza party for 10. Go to Shakey's.com. Buy CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday afternoon to you, wherever you may be. We are turning back the clock today. This is a throwback game going back to 1944. The Dodgers are in their blue uniforms, not quite the satin that they wore that year, but nevertheless, that is the Dodger blue for the day. And for the Chicago Cubs, they are wearing their uniforms from 1944. To look at the two teams in their uniforms, in 1944, Brooklyn finished 7th, and the Cubs finished 4th, 30 games out of first place. But the next year for Chicago, in 1945, they wound up in the World Series with the Detroit Tigers, losing to Hal Newhouser and company. For big Carlos Zambrano, getting 5s before the game begins. Here's his team. Starlin Castro at short, Darwin Barney at second base, Marlon Byrd in center field, Aramis Ramirez at third, Jeff Baker is in right field. Giovanni Soto behind the plate. Alfonso Soriano in left field. Carlos Pena at first base. And Carlos Zambrano on the mound. Now, normally we would concentrate on the mound. It's Ted Lilly going up against his old club. But the Dodger lineup will not have the name Andre Ethier in it. He was penciled in the starting lineup. And then just a few minutes ago, we got the word that Andre, bothered by a sore left elbow, it's inflamed, and so he is unable to play, therefore unable to see if he can go to number 30, and that'll have to happen on the next road trip going to New York and then on to Pittsburgh. Interesting, too, the number 30. In the old Western Union days, 30 was always at the end of a story. They would put 30, and that meant that's the end of the story. Well, it's not the end of the story at 29 for sure, and that hopefully is not an ominous sign for Andre when he goes to the Mets. But enough about those numbers, enough about the uniforms. Here we go with the ball game. Starlin Castro, followed by Darwin Barney, and then Marlon Byrd. The plate umpire is Dan Iasanya. Dale Scott, Jerry Meals, C.B. Buckner working the lines. Castro hitting .315. Lilly into the windup and delivers, and the first one is low, ball one. Castro hit in the number 3 slot last night and went 0 for 4. And in the first game, he led off and went 0 for 4. So he's a hungry leadoff hitter, 0 for 8. And the next pitch is swung on and fouled away off first base, well back into the crowd. The paid attendance we will get later on, but we can tell you the temperature right now. It is 89 degrees here at Dodger Stadium. So just the start of things. Ted Lilly with a record of 2-2 made his only start against the Cubs on the 23rd. He was kind of cuffed around and was not involved in the decision. The pitch to Castro is in for a strike, and the count to the 21-year-old is 1-2. Ted Lilly making his only start against the Cubs. Remember, he was with them from 2007 into 2010. The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball hit in the air to left field. Tony Gwynn is out there and makes the catch for the out. So one away on a fly ball to left. Let's set the Dodgers defensively. The outfield goes this way with Gwynn, Kemp, and Gibbons in right field. The infield of Mitchell, Uribe, Miles, and Loney. And behind the plate, Deanna Navarro handling Ted Lilly. So one away, first inning, just getting started. And the batter now will be Darwin Barney, hitting .317, 1 home run, 14 runs batted in. Darwin takes a strike. He has the interesting family tree. His grandmother is Korean and his grandfather is Japanese. The strike one pitch on the way to Darwin, a towering fly ball to left field. Gwynn is there dancing underneath it, coming in a few steps, and 2 fly balls, 2 out in the first inning. And the batter will be Marlon Byrd. Marlon Byrd, a Dodger tormentor ever since he came to the big leagues. He's hitting .382 against the Dodgers. Against the league, batting .294. Marlon Byrd last night had a single and a walk, and wouldn't you know, scored the first of 3 in the 9th inning to break the 1-1 tie. Lilly deals. He's a little high, ball one. Marlon Byrd 7 for 14 against Lilly. So Marlon waiting, originally drafted by the Phillies, right-hand hitter, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. And there's a line drive foul down the left field line into them rattling around in the chairs, bounces back out onto the field. 1-1 the count to Marlon Byrd. The Dodgers and the Cubs have had a long rivalry, as you can well imagine. They've actually played each other over 2,000 games. The 1-1 pitch is pop foul off to the right, and that one will be a one-hand sliding catch by Deanna Navarro. The Dodger catcher broke late and then made a remarkable play to shut down Marlon Byrd. That's worth another look. Fine play by the Dodger catcher Gianna Navarro at the end of half an inning. No score. Nine pitches to put him down. Now let's take a look at the Dodger lineup. Tony Gwynn in left field, Aaron Miles at second, and without Andre Ethier, Jay Gibbons is in right field. Matt Kemp in center, followed by Juan Uribe and then James Loney. Gianna Navarro just made a brilliant catch. He's behind the plate. Russ Mitchell at third. Ted Lilly the pitcher. And the pitcher for the Cubs, Carlos Zambrano. He is 6'5", at least 255 pounds. He is not only 3-1 and makes his first pitch to Gwynn outside and high, ball one. Zambrano has won 9 straight road games. In fact, he's really two pitchers. How he goes in Wrigley and what he does on the road. Fastball pulled on the ground to the right side. Barney is up with it, and that will take care of Gwynn. So we have one out in the first inning. Let's set the Cubs defensively. They shape up this way. Soriano, Bird, and Baker in the outfield. The infield of Ramirez, Castro, Barney, and Pena. Behind the plate for the Cubs, Giovanni Soto. On the mound, Carlos Zambrano. The batter now, Aaron Miles, switch hitter, batting left-handed, hitting .247. Zambrano delivers, gets a strike, and they count 0-1. So Aaron Miles playing second base. The Dodgers needing backup help. The strike one pitch on the way is hit down the left field line. Fair ball. Over to try and backhand and cut it off is Soriano. And by the time he gets it back into second base goes Miles with a double. So a one-out double by Aaron Miles to left field, and that'll bring up Jay Gibbons. Miles playing second. Juan Uribe is playing short today, so they give hard-working Jamie Carroll a game off. Soriano having a little trouble, but he didn't have a play on Miles anyway. So a runner at second, and here is Gibbons. Rejoined the team last night, actually arrived around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Jay looks at a pitch off the plate, ball one. Gibbons, as a pinch hitter for Chad Billingsley in the 7th inning, had a 9-pitch at bat, going 3-2, and wound up caught looking at a curveball for strike 3. He shies away from a fastball up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Jay Gibbons wearing like driver's glasses, tinted to cut down the glare. He normally wears contacts. 2-0 pitch on the way. The left-hand hitter takes high. Ball 3-0. With Zambrano, with this great career of his that began in 2001, His winning percentage in his career, .611. He's high up in walks and pretty high up in strikeouts. And the 3-0 pitch in there, 3-1. He is also known as someone who's not afraid at all of coming inside. In his career, he's hit 88 batters. So the old story, stay loose. Now the 3-1 pitch. Zambrano delivers, swung on and fouled off, and the count 3-2. This year, Zambrano's troubles usually hit him in the first 3 innings. His earned run average in the first 3 innings of a game is 6. Left-hand hitters are hitting only .203 against him. Right-handers hitting .297. So Miles with his double pick-off play. He just got back. Boy, that was quick. Darting in was Castro, and Zambrano big but quick in his turn. Very close. The tag on the ribs, but the hand was already on the bag. Now the 3-2 pitch coming up. Gibbons swings, fouls it away. There is a glaring difference between the two pitchers today, and not just left and right. In holding runners on, Zambrano in his career has allowed 50 stolen bases, and he has caught 49. That's remarkable. 3-2 pitch, swung on, fouled away. Ted Lilly, in direct contrast, has been burned 153 times and has only caught 35 trying to steal. And when it comes to balks, Zambrano has 5 in trying to hold the runners on. Lilly has 29, the most of any active pitcher. All right, 3-2 to Jay Gibbons, swung on and missed, and down he goes. So 2 out. Aaron Miles holding at second base, and the batter is Matt Kemp. We were thinking and talking a little bit earlier about the uniforms. The Dodgers and the Cubs, what they are wearing today is what they wore in 1944. We also, yesterday, we were talking about Joe DiMaggio made his major league debut for the Yankees, and to make room for DiMaggio, the Yankees sent an outfielder, Dixie Walker, to the Chicago White Sox. The pitch is swung on and missed at the plate, 0-1. Well, that was 1936. By 1944, the same Dixie Walker was not only playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers, he wound up the batting champion that year, even though the Dodgers finished 7th. Strike 1 pitch to Matt Kemp is taken off the plate. Hitting behind him, Juan Uribe. No score, bottom of the first inning. Final meeting of the year. My, how times have changed. Dodgers and Cubs say have a good winter on May the 4th. The next one is inside, moving Kemp off the plate. 2-2 the count. Carlos Zambrano, he signed a 5-year contract in 2007 for over $90 million. The 2-1 pitch coming up. It's swung on, and a high fly ball to center, very playable. Right there is Marlon Byrd, and that'll be that. So no runs, a wrong field double for Aaron Miles, and at the end of an inning, no score. Ted Lilly and Carlos Zambrano. And for Lilly, who set the side down in order on 9 pitches in the first inning, it'll be Ramirez, Baker, and Soto. Aramis Ramirez hitting .290, 1 home run, and 11 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter takes high, ball 1. In the first game of the series, Alfonso Soriano hit a home run, and then last night Carlos Pena hit one. Ramirez squirts one foul off to the right, 1 ball and 1 strike. Ramirez 0 for 2 in the past against Ted Lilly. 1-1 the count. Lilly into the windup, the 1-1 pitch. Ramirez fouls it back. The Cubs, we mentioned, like the Dodgers, wearing their uniforms from 1944. 3 years ago, they wore the 1948 uniforms against Atlanta to celebrate WGN's 60th anniversary of televising Chicago Cubs baseball. Carlos Zambrano started that game. Pitch outside, 2-2 the count. Nancy B. Heffley playing a song out of Oklahoma. I'm just a girl who can't say no. 2-2 the count. Lilly from the third base side of the rubber. Ted ready and delivers a check swing for strike 3. Then as Ramirez could not hold back on a pitch above the letters. Strikeout number 1 for Ted Lilly. Bad ball that was out of the strike zone, and down goes Ramirez. Now Jeff Baker coming up. We haven't seen Baker in the series. He's had a bad shoulder, suffered in a collision. You might remember Jeff played a lot of ball for the Colorado Rockies. He was born in Germany. Backs off on ball 1. Born in Bad Kissingen, Germany. Went to Clemson University. As you can imagine, his dad was in the U.S. Army, and he was assigned to install missile defense systems all over the place, Abu Dhabi among many. So Jeff lived in 9 different cities growing up. 1 ball and no strikes. I don't know what that is, some kind of a bug, I assume, as a distraction at the plate. It's not the infield fly. 1 ball and no strikes. The 1-0 pitch on the way to Jeff Baker, and that's taken for a strike. So for Jeff, 89 degrees today here in Los Angeles. That's nothing for a kid who spent time in Abu Dhabi. Deep in the desert. The 1-1 pitch swung on, hit in the air down the right field line. Moving over to his left is Gibbons to make the catch. So Baker a fly ball, and we have 2 out in the second inning, and the batter will be Giovanni Soto. Soto, the rookie of the year in 2008, had the big hit last night. With 1 out, you remember Jonathan Broxton walked 2, so they brought in Blake Hawksworth, and Soto just did find the gap in right center for a double to drive in 2, and then he scored on a base hit by Blake DeWitt. Soto hitting .239, and there's a sizable gap out there right now because center field straight away, and Gibbons way over to his left. Slow freight, but that's a little high. 1 ball and 1 strike. So wide open spaces in the gap in right center, and that's where he hit it last night to win the game. Lilly into the windup, 2 out, bases empty, no score. Tries to snap a fastball in, but gets it too far in, and the count 2-1. Ted with a record of 2-2, coming into the game with an earned run average of not quite 4.5. Left-hander ready, and here he comes. 2-1, drops that in nicely for a strike, and the count 2-2. Soto in and out of the box. Hitting back of him in the lineup, Alfonso Soriano. Now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Overhand curve, hit down to short. Up with it there is Uribe to throw him out. So that's 6 in a row retired by Ted Lilly. And at the end of an inning and a half, as he walks off, Dodgers and Cubs, no score. The ball game in this storied rivalry. To give you an idea of the Cubs and the Dodgers, they have played each other over 2,000 games, and the Dodgers have beaten the Cubs 4 more times. Dodgers 1,024 wins, and the Cubs 1,020. I just thought of something else. Earlier we talked about Dixie Walker winning the batting championship for the Brooklyn Dodgers. The pitch to Juan Uribe is outside, ball 1. They had a Donnybrook one day during that 1944 season in Ebbets Field. The next pitch just missing, 2-0 the count. And there was Emil Verban, the infielder for the Cubs, several others. The 2-0 pitch is hit foul down the line. Dixie Walker was playing right field. Now remember, he's going to go on and win the batting crown. But the fight starts somewhere between the mound and home plate. Dixie came running in from right field, stopped at second base. The pitch of the plate swung on and missed 2-2. Bent over, did something, and then got right into the fight. When it was all over, he went back to second base. 2-2 pitch, foul back. He had put his teeth. He took his bridge out, running in from right field, put the bridge under second base, got into the fight. When the fight was over, Dixie went back to second, got his dentures, and went back to right field. The off-speed pitch is fouled back by Juan Uribe. Now, ask me how I remember that. I have no idea. But just looking down, every now and then, a bell rings. Most of the time for lunch or dinner. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Juan Uribe. Big Carlos Zambrano turns, ready, and delivers almost sidearm, kind of throwing a little bit of a cutter, and a 3-2 count. Zambrano, needless to say, at 6'5", can be very intimidating. Over the top this time, and it's fouled away. Still 3-2 to Uribe. How have they done facing each other? Well, look at that. Uribe has 8 hits and a home run against him. However, swings and comes up empty, and down he goes. So that would be strikeout number 2 for Carlos Zambrano. And James Loney coming up. What's Loney done against Zambrano? Well, hitting .308. So one away, second inning, no score in the ball game. 1,472 career strikeouts for Zambrano. Second behind Ferguson Jenkins, who had over 2,000. And the first pitch is a little high to Loney. 1 ball and no strikes. No score. Bottom of the second inning. Outfield deep, fanned straight away. James hits a line drive, base hit into left field. Well, if that wager continues between Mattingly and Loney, Loney will pick up $1 with that wrong field line drive. However, if Loney hits a fly ball to left field, then Mattingly collects $1. So James at first, and here's Deanna Navarro, who made that brilliant catch on the foul ball off the bat of Marlon Byrd in the first inning. Catchers rarely make a highlight film, except maybe for some tough collision at the plate. And the pitch to Deanna, high ball 1, but that was a highlight film catch. Dodgers 1 game under 500, so they'd like to win their 16th and get even before going out on the road. Dodgers are 1 game above 500 at home, 2 under on the road. And Navarro, a fly ball to left field. Soriano was there. That will be the second out. And in a moment, Russ Mitchell will be coming up. Introducing the Dodgers Ultimate Giveaway Plan. 8 games, 10 giveaways, including all 6 bobbleheads, Dodgers sports bag, beach towel, Fernando fleece blanket, popular purple and gold LA cap, starting at $12 a seat. For more information, call 323-224-1365 or go to Dodgers.com/mini-plans. So 2 out. Here's Mitchell, right-hand batter. Russ takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Russ Mitchell out of Rome, Georgia, came up to the Dodgers last year, 15 games, hit just 143, and they recalled him. He takes a strike. 0-2 the count. Mitchell in the minor leagues has hit as many as 23 last year at Albuquerque. 6'1", 185. Russ, 26 years old, fouls the next pitch back, though it's still 0-2 the count. So the Dodgers needed to rest Jamie Carroll. Carroll's been absolutely brilliant, playing in 30 games, hitting .286. So by resting Carroll, they had to move Uribe to short, and without their regular third baseman Casey Blake, Russ Mitchell gets a chance, fouls it back. The Dodger lineup today does not figure to score a lot of runs, and especially against somebody like Zambrano. The one big hitter in the lineup is Kemp in the outfield and Uribe on the infield. Strike 2 pitch, reached for, and a high fly ball to deep center. Going back to pick it off as Bird. Boy, they are strong. Russ Mitchell actually reached for the ball and sent the center fielder almost to the track. No runs to hit a man hit safely in 29 straight to tie Zach Wheat. 2 to go to catch the all-time Dodger streak of 31, turned in by the old 3-dog, Willie Davis. And I will say one thing for Andre Ethier. We got the report just before really the teams took the field that he has a very sore elbow and unable to play. Now, there would be some cynics who might say, sure, he's taking a day off against a pitcher who gives him a bad time. But that is not true at all. The first pitch to Soriano is popped in the air to shallow left field, and a trio of Dodgers, and it gets away from a sliding Tony Gwynn. The ball should have been caught, and the Dodgers were just not ready to fight that sun. So Uribe went out, Gwynn came in, and it drops. Gwynn, to avoid a collision, went into a slide, got his glove on it, it hit the heel. It'll go as a base hit. Soriano aboard with a single allowed. Anyway, let's get back to Ethier a minute. If you think that Andre Ethier took the day off to protect his streak, you could not be more wrong. Against Carlos Zambrano, Ethier is hitting .438. If anything, he would like very much to try and extend the streak against the pitcher he hits so well. Carlos Pena takes a hook on the corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Pena hit his first home run of the year last night in the 7th inning. No balls and 1 strike to Carlos. He has 7 RBIs, left-hand batter. Lilly set, ready. Ted delivers, and it is swung on and missed. 0-2 the count. So for Lilly, he gets a bad break pitching today in the sense the Dodgers don't figure to score a lot against Zambrano. And Lilly has received an average of only 3 runs of support since the beginning of last year. That's the lowest mark in the major leagues. Time at the plate requested by Carlos Pena. Those might look like the 1944 uniforms for each team, but they can't possibly be the same. The Dodger uniform was satin. The pitch foul at the plate. And back in 1944, the baseball uniforms were flannel, heavy wool. There's no way over 60 years later they're wearing those uniforms, which weighed a ton from perspiration and dirt. Not exactly a suit of armor, but there were times when it really felt heavy. 0-2 the count to Carlos Pena. Lilly ready and delivers just off the plate. With a runner on base, the Dodgers can't really stack up the so-called diamond defense. However, it's close. Miles is on the rim. Uribe way over to his left to fill up the middle. Basically, Russ Mitchell all alone between second and third. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lilly lobs it over there. Remember, as we told you earlier, Lilly has had a very, very tough time throughout his career against base runners. Base runners have stolen 153. Soriano held on, and we'll take a look at his mark. He does not have a stolen base. Lilly, very deliberate, comes to the plate, and it's swung on a fly ball to left field and deep. Gwynn goes back just shy of the track, makes the catch. Soriano tags up, heading for second, and they've gotten him. Alfonso Soriano trying to advance on a fly ball to deep left, and apparently does not have the legs for it, and Gwynn made a strong throw to make him pay. So for Mike Quaddy, Soriano tries but fails, and now Carlos Zambrano coming up with 2 out. Gwynn, a good defensive outfielder, got it there in plenty of time for the tag by Miles. 7-4 if you're scoring. And there's Zambrano who gets a hold of one. Gwynn going back on the track and makes the catch shy of the wall. Remember, Zambrano, the best hitting pitcher around, has 22 home runs in his career, and I think he thought he hit another one, but he didn't, and we're scoreless. Base on a fly ball. That finished off the Cubs in the third. We're going to the bottom of the third, no score. Alfonso will probably hear Nancy B. Heffley playing Life is Just a Bowl of Cherries, but he might be thinking life's the pits right about now. Leading off, Ted Lilly backs off, takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Lilly, Gwynn, and Miles in that order. Zambrano doesn't waste any time. He comes right back with a fastball low and a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Zambrano had 7 brothers and several cousins. Ground ball wide at first, easily for Pena to go to the bag. So Lilly grounds out, 1 away. And coming up, Tony Gwynn, who made the good play to nail Alfonso Soriano. So be sure to follow the Dodgers with the MLB.com @Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. You can get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and a lot more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com for details. Well, Tony Gwynn has already done his job in the field, and now in the field he made that fine throw. And now he's consumed enough time with the temperature at 89 to let Ted Lilly get back into the dugout. Tony grounded out in the first inning, hitting .246. And the left-hand hitter takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Tony a threat to bunt, so Ramirez is in on the grass. Pena, however, a normal depth at first. Zambrano looks down over the tips of his glove, comes back to his hitter, and it's fouled away upstairs off third base. No balls and 2 strikes the count. This is the Dodgers' final game of the homestand. They will leave tomorrow. They'll play the weekend in New York and 4 with Pittsburgh. Then they will come home and play Arizona, Milwaukee, and San Francisco. Strike 2 pitch is low, 1-2. They'll play Arizona on the weekend starting the 13th. 2 midweek games with Milwaukee and 2 midweek games with the Giants before going out again. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. That's off the plate. 2-2. The Dodgers so far have not taken advantage of the schedule. They are hoping to get richer on the road and the next homestand. The pitch, a hopper to first baseman Pena. He'll wave Zambrano away. So 2 ground balls, 2 out in the third, and the batter will be Aaron Miles. Dodgers figured they might be able to pick up some ground because they're playing the Cubs, then they play the Mets, then they play the Pirates, then they play Arizona. All of those games are against teams that are struggling. Of course, the Cubs aren't struggling that badly coming into the game. They're 13-16. Zambrano's first pitch in at the knees to Miles for a strike. 0-1 to Aaron, who doubled the left field in the first inning. Dodgers with Carroll, among others, playing second base, and Miles hitting a fly ball and right under it is Bird. So that's that. So a quick third inning. And at the end of 3, the Cubs nothing and the Dodgers nothing. Baja style fish tacos with classic Baja or spicy avocado sauce. Only at El Pollo Loco. By Corona. And by Time Warner Cable. 4th inning, no score in the ball game. Hot day in Los Angeles. Ted Lilly and Carlos Zambrano. Starlin Castro, Darwin Barney, and then Marlon Byrd. Castro pushes a bunt foul back into the stands. 0-1 the count. Starlin flied to left field in the first inning. The 21-year-old tied a record in April. He had 40 hits. 21 or younger. The other player to do it, Alex Rodriguez. And that's going to be a little flare into center field. He'll take it for his first base hit of the series. So Castro the hit, and the batter now Darwin Barney. That is hit number 2 against Ted Lilly, who retired the first 6 in a row. Soriano singled, and on Pena's fly ball, Alfonso tried to advance. Tony Gwynn hung him out to dry. So now Castro at first. Here is Barney, a winner of 2 straight College World Series at Oregon State and the player of the month in April. Darwin Barney. The Cubs feel that they're set right around second base for a long, long time to come. I don't think there is a columnist who can work the names together, but you never know. Remember the famous words of Franklin P. Adams. These are the saddest of possible words. Tinkers to Evers to Chance. Trio of Bear Cubs fleeter than birds. Tinker and Evers and Chance. Pretty tough to handle Castro and Barney. Ball one. The last part of that was ruthlessly pricking our Gonfalon bubble, making a giant hit into a double. Words that are heavy with nothing but trouble. Tinker to Evers to Chance. That was written back in 1908 by Franklin Piana. Fouled away. One ball and one strike. Darwin Barney with Marlon Byrd on deck. Castro over there at first. Castro is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. The Cubs have stolen 6, and he has 4 of them. They're not a running team at all. We'll see if they run or try to against Lilly. Breaking ball strike, 1 and 2. Barney followed by Marlon Byrd. No score, 4th inning, with Castro at first, held on by Loney. High fastball. Barney wouldn't bite. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for each side. Dodgers did have Miles get to second base. Two and 2 the count. The Cubs just flat out don't run. 6 stolen bases. They've only tried to steal 9 times in 30 games. Matt Kemp has tried to steal 11 times all by himself and has stolen 10. Next pitch fouled away off third. That'll go well out of play. Still 2 and 2. And a scramble for the foul ball in the stands. Ted was playing Little League in Torrance when he was about 10, and he started pitching when he was about 12. He's 6'1", 190, 35 years old. And that's whacked down the left field line, carrying in the corner, and foul. C.B. Buckner right on the line. Still 2 and 2 the count to Darwin Barney. Barney back up to hit again, batting .314 with a home run, 14 runs batted in. Fastball fouled the other way, off to the right. The Cubs had a very good hitting team back in 1989 when they got into the league championship series. That team hit .303, and Mark Grace during the series hit .647. 2 and 2. And a hit to the right side. Miles quickly to Uribe, and Uribe turns and doubles him. Four 6-3 double play. 2 down in the 4th inning, and Marlon Byrd coming up.
Marlon Byrd.
Nice play for Uribe. After all, he's been playing third base. He had to handle the throw, make the turn. So the Dodgers come up with a double play. Here's Byrd, who fouled out on that wonderful sliding catch by Diana Navarro in the 1st inning. Ball 1. Marlon came into this game with a career batting average of .382 against the Dodgers. I mean, he's right there with Brad Hopp, a few of the others. 1-1. 1-2. One of the great Chicago Cubs, you think of Ernie Banks right away, but another was Andre Dawson. 21 years ago, he became only the second major league player in history to compile 2,000 hits, 300 home runs, and 300 stolen bases. Who was the other? The great Willie Mays. Fourth inning, no score. 1-2 the count to Marlon Byrd. Aramis Ramirez waiting on deck. Marlon's a big fella, checks in about 235, but when he had a leg infection, leg was immobilized in a cast for over 5 months. His weight went up to 315. He looks and down he goes. Strikeout number 2 for Ted Lilly. No runs a hit, nobody left, and at the end of 3.5, no score. Barbecue steak grilled sandwich at participating restaurants, and by your Southern California Ford dealers. Visit us today and trade up to Ford. Bottom of the fourth inning on a beautiful day at Dodger Stadium. No score. It'll be Jay Gibbons, Matt Kemp, and Juan Uribe. If you just tuned in, Jay Gibbons hitting third, playing right field. Andre Ethier unable to answer the bell with a sore left elbow. 0-2 the count to Jay. And we'll also repeat the fact that if healthy, Ethier certainly would have played, because he's hitting .438 in his career against Zambrano. 0-1. So from the looks of things, Andre will take his 29-game hitting streak, maybe appropriately enough, to New York. Boy, he will get the New York spotlight and media coverage, that's for sure. Fouled away. 1-2. Of course, the world knows about Joe DiMaggio's streak. Two and two the count. Down he goes. So Gibson struck out in the first, bites the dust in the fourth. That would be the third strikeout for Zambrano, and brings up Matt Kemp, who flied to center in the first inning. And ball one. 1-0. Just looking, talking about hitting streaks of 30 or more in the National League to give it a New York touch. Moises Alou. Right. Playing with the Mets in 2007. Hit in 30 straight. 2-1 the count. Matt trying to uppercut that. 2-2 the count. 1 out, 4th inning, no runs and 2 hits for each team. Dodgers have 1 man get to second. That was Miles who doubled in the 1st inning. The Cubs are still looking to get a man to second. And 3-2 with Juan Uribe on deck. Carlos Zambrano trying to win his 10th in a row on the road. And a drive to right, very playable. Jeff Baker is there. 2 down. 7 in a row retired by Zambrano since the base hit by Loney. Uribe struck out in the 2nd inning. And he will be awarded first base. Or did it just hit the bat and then the hand? They're going to have to check. Uribe, of course, was nailed by Tim Lincecum twice at the very beginning of the year. Tries to check up. Pitch got him. And he'll go to first. Hit by the pitch. Remember, we told you, and this is no knock on Zambrano, but when you are facing him, you have to be loose. He has hit 89 batters in his career. For Zambrano, that would be the 2nd man that he's hit this year. So Uribe has been hit 3 times, and he's fortunate that he's able to come right back. Took 2 on the elbow, and now this one. So with 2 out, Uribe is at first, and here's Loney. Loney single to left in the 2nd inning. James has his average now to 211. Remember 4 years ago he had 331. Pulls this one foul, and the count 0-1. No score, bottom of the 4th. I was reading an article, oh gosh, quite a while ago, talking about hit batters. The higher the temperature, the more chance of a hit batter. Little ground ball to the right side, and that will be that. So no runs, man left, and at the end of 4, no score. expecting a tough one. No score. Each side with 2 hits. The only real difference, the fact that Aaron Miles' hit was a double. He's the only man to get to second base. Dodgers have turned in a double play. Soriano got aboard with a base hit and then was out trying to advance on a fly ball. So into the 5th inning, it'll be Ramirez, Baker, and Soto in that order. Ramirez, very much of a power hitter, and yet here we have turned into the month of May, and he has just 1. Fouled away, 0-1. Uribe with glove back at shortstop. Took a little time before he finally got the glove and went out to his position, but he apparently is okay. Oh and 1. Slow curveball, but it was high. 1-1 the count. Ramirez, Baker, Soto. If anybody gets on, Soriano. Two balls and 1 strike. Plate umpire Dan Iasanya wearing the gear behind the plate. 2-1. Fouled away. Got him on the foot. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Unless you tried to play, you would never understand how much a ball can hurt, because the ball only weighs 5 to 5 1/4 ounces. That got him the front part of the foot. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Of course, you're right. Velocity has a lot to do with it. All right, Ramirez waiting on a 2-ball, 2-strike count. No score in the ballgame. Just did get a little bit of what looked like a good sinker. Still 2-2. Last year, right-handers hit only .213 against Lilly. Breaking ball got him. So Lilly comes up with a dandy. He has a fastball, curve, and change, plus a slider as well. And that was late breaking. So Ramirez had given up on it and strikes out a second time. That would be the 3rd strikeout for Ted Lilly. And the batter, Jeff Baker. Lifted, back of first, down the line. Loney, Miles, Gibbons. It's going to land amongst them. The throw to second. They got him. So Jeff Baker, a pop fly single amongst a trio of Dodgers. And a perfect throw into second base. And waiting for it to apply the tag was Uribe. Gibbons, a one-hand grab, throw, all in one motion. And nailed at the bag is Baker. Nice play by Jay Gibbons. Good tag by Juan Uribe. And with 2 out, Giovanni Soto. So the Cubs still haven't gotten a man to second base. Ball 1. They had Soriano out at second, trying to advance on a fly ball. Castro was cut down on the double play. And now a perfect throw by Jeff Gibbons to give you an idea of why the Dodger outfielders lead in assists. 2-0 to Soto. No score, top of the 5th inning. Fastball gets the inside corner. 2-1 to count. And a line foul down the line. 2-2. And that one is hit hard to deep left center field. Gwynn running to the track at the wall. It is gone. So Giovanni Soto hits his 3rd home run of the year. No doubt about it when he connected. For Ted Lilly, that would be the 3rd home run that he has allowed. And the Cubs take a 1-0 lead. It's only normal and natural of your Mike Quaddy and the Cubs in the dugout. They're thinking, well, if Baker had settled for a single or if Baker was safe at second, it would be 2-0. But Gibbons nailed Baker, and Soto then follows with a home run. 1-0 Chicago. 5th inning, and Alfonso Soriano coming up. Fouled away. 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. The Cubs are a ball club that doesn't run, and even though they play in Wrigley Field, they have not taken advantage of what Ernie Banks called the friendly confines. Soto, hitting his 3rd home run of the year, is the only Cub other than Soriano to have more than 2 home runs. Hard ground ball, but right at 3rd was Mitchell to make the play. The 1 run, 2 hits. The big one, the home run by Giovanni Soto, and at the end of 4.5, 1-0 Chicago. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, it'll be Deanna Navarro, Russ Mitchell, and then Ted Lilly against Carlos Zambrano. Ball 1. Thinking this is such a low-scoring game, 1-0. That's a fly ball into shallow left center. A trio of Cubs. It'll be Marlon Byrd. So Navarro pops out, 1 away. Russ Mitchell coming up. It was back in 1975. The Cubs hosted the Pittsburgh Pirates, if hosting is the right word. The final score in that game, Pittsburgh 22 and Chicago nothing. Now that's a game, huh? Wouldn't you know it was at home? Mitchell flied to center in the second inning, and ball one, 1-0. 1 run, 4 hits for the Cubs, no runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. And for Ted Lilly, no doubt thinking, here we go again. They just don't score any runs for me. The Dodgers have been averaging 3 runs for every game he pitches. In there, 2-1 to Mitchell. Final meeting of the year with the Cubs. The Dodgers have a slight edge. They've won 3 out of 5. Ball 3. Pop in the air off first base. In fact, still in fair, but now in foul. Pena. 2 down. That'll bring up Ted Lilly. Well, I know you're just kind of sitting back taking it easy on a hot day, so why not make you think a little bit? Willie Davis, as you probably know, has the longest hitting streak in Dodger history, Los Angeles Dodger history, but is 3rd all time in hits. Who are the top 2 in hits? Lilly grounded out in the 3rd inning, wails away and pops it up. Ramirez, using the glove for shade, makes the catch, and that's it. A very easy inning for Carlos Zambrano. And so at the end of 5, 1-0 Chicago. Willie Mays hit a big home run. It was number 512 in his young career. That passed Mel Ott, who had hit 511. One other note for Mays, he hit the home run to beat the Dodgers 6-1. And a third note on Willie, on May the 6th, while the Dodgers are in New York, Willie Mays will celebrate his 80th birthday. Wow. Let's go back to this one. The Dodgers forced to make a change after Juan Uribe was hit by a pitch. He has to come out, and Jamie Carroll, who was supposed to have the day off and rest, pressed back into service. So the Cubs leading 1-0, and in the 6th inning, Carlos Pena will lead it off. Dodgers come up with their triangle defense after Nancy B. Heffley serenaded the people. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. 0-1. Carlos Pena flied to left field in the 3rd inning, hitting a home run last night. Came as a shock. He arrived here without any after he's been averaging 36 each of the last 4 years. And the big thing, of course, people will say, well, I'm really sorry for Pena. He's just struggling and not hitting. you really ought to say, I'm sorry for his boss. Paid a lot of money to bring him over to Chicago to hit home runs. 1-1. And he drives that breaking ball. No doubt about that one. Now, that was hit by a guy who averages 36. So Pena drives it out on the heels of Soto's home run in the 5th inning. And the Cubs now take a 2-0 lead. One of the problems for the Cubs, their home runs have not really enriched them that much. They've hit 25 home runs. 17 of the 25, the bases have been empty. Boy, did he ever crush that thing way back. Two to nothing in favor of Chicago on the home runs. And here's a guy who can hit a home run himself, Carlos Zambrano, who's hit 22 in his career. And he probably bangs it into left field. That'll be either a long single, and that's what it is. There's no reason, 89 degrees, for the big guy to try to stretch it. But Zambrano, a switch hitter, does just about all of his hitting, however, right-handed. So let's see, he is 1 for 2. That would make him 4 for 10. So he's just hitting a cool 400. 22 big ones in his career. Wes Farrell played a lot with the Washington Senators way back when. His brother Rick was a catcher. And a strike to Castro. For Ted Lilly, he gives up 2 in 6 innings. He gave up 2 in 33 innings. And it's 2-0 Chicago. Cubs 2 runs, 6 hits. Dodgers no runs, 2 hits. And of course, for the Dodgers, really struggling anyway. They had to settle for 1 run last night, and that didn't come until the bottom of the 6th inning. So for Mattingly, it's been a famine right now as far as runs. 1-1 to Starlin Castro. That drops in for a strike. Another couple of notes on Zambrano as he stands at first. His 22 career home runs are the most by a pitcher since Bob Gibson retired with 24 home runs. Bob called it a career in 1975. Don Drysdale had 29 home runs. He's 7th on the all-time list. 2-2, and as we mentioned, Wes Farrell had 37. Pitchers who can hit. You're looking at one. Nobody out here in the 6th inning. Castro followed by Barney. Fouled. Still 2-2. Castro, brilliant young shortstop, was a very hungry hitter coming into today's game. He was 0 for 4 in the first game, 0 for 4 in the second game, and 0 for 1. So he was 0 for 9. And then he got the base hit in the 4th inning, only to have Barney follow and hit into a double play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Foul back. Castro has 1 home run, and he has struck out less than 10% of the time, even though he swings very hard up there. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he lifts a fly ball, very playable, coming over as Kemp to take charge and make the catch. They don't expect Zambrano to tag up. So one away, and Barney coming up. Remember the question we had about Willie Davis, third on the all-time Dodger list for hits. Who are the top two? Zach Wheat going away back, and Pee Wee Reese. Wheat's name, of course, came alive when Andre Ethier hit in 29 straight. Here's Barney, fly to left, hit into a double play. Darwin is 0 for 2, takes a strike. 0-1. Lilly has not walked a batter. Zambrano has not walked a batter, but he did hit Uribe and knock him out of the game. 0-1. Chasing that one, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Zambrano at first. They're holding him on, which is a little bit of a surprise. And that's probably hit into right field. Zambrano will go station to station. I mean, Zambrano is 250, 260. Does not have any stolen bases. But Loney was holding the corner. And Barney gets a base hit to bring up Marlon Byrd. Two on, 1 out. Byrd fouled out and struck out. Marlin hitting .289. Cubs 2 on home runs by Soto and Pena. Dodgers no runs, just 2 hits. Fastball is whacked to left field. Gwynn going back, and this one is gone. Home run by Marlon Byrd. That adds 3, and it is 5-0 Cubs. And if you ever expected a Cub to do that, it would be Marlon Byrd. The Byrd continues to wear out the Dodgers. A 3-run home run. And a commanding 5-0 lead for Zambrano and Chicago. No doubt about them, they're not little fly ball home runs. Soto, his home run was well hit. Pena was crushed, and that one was a home run as soon as the ball made contact with the bat. 0-1 to Ramirez. So Marlon Byrd wearing Willie Mays' number, so maybe that's appropriate. Yeah, number 24. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. A 4-run inning for the Cubs. Last night, you remember, they had a 3-run ninth. So they're leading 5-0. And that's hit down the line, but pulled too much. 1-2 the count. So there was Ted Lilly. He had worked 33 innings or thereabout and allowed only 2 home runs. And he's home at Dodger Stadium and gives up 3 in 5 1/3 innings. 1-2. Slow breaking ball. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Lance Cormier begins to loosen up. Dodgers have Gwynn, Miles, and Gibbons. And of course, for Don Mattingly, with this lineup, he knew he was going to be struggling offensively. And so did Lilly. Ball 3. So this is a far cry from the club that Mattingly would like to have on the field. 3-2. Fouled off a good low fastball. Ramirez hitting .284. So Lilly pushed around now. Home run by Soto in the 5th. Leadoff home run by Pena in the 6th. And then the 3-run crusher from Marlon Byrd. 3-2. And ball 4. So Ramirez draws a walk. That's the first walk in the game. And the batter will be Jeff Baker. By the way, down there in the cool of the Cub dugout, if there be such a thing, Marlon Byrd is hitting .381 against the Dodgers. .381 in his career. So you have Marlon Byrd and Brad Hobb, and the Dodgers certainly helping them a great deal. David Wright is hitting .410 against the Dodgers, and of course they'll be seeing David on the weekend in New York, 6th, 7th, and 8th of May. Jim Eisenreich, who at one time played for the Dodgers, hit .405, and then there's Marlon. Well-deserved grin on his face. A .381 career batting average. Byrd, among other things, lives in nearby La Jolla. So he's found a home here. Jeff Baker, fly to center, single to right, pop fly that dropped in, and Gibbons threw him out, and whoops, there goes Barney. And the throw down, they get him. So the Dodgers are getting a lot of outs from the Cubs on the base paths. So Ramirez is nailed. And the no pitch. Baker had flied out, and a good throw to Jamie Carroll. He had the ball waiting for the arrival of Ramirez. So 2 out, 5-0 Cubs, 6th inning. In the inning, Pena homered, Zambrano singled, with 1 out, Barney singled, Byrd hit the big home run, Ramirez walked but is nailed 2-6. 0-1 to Baker. In there, 0-2. Dodgers will have Gwynn, Miles, and Gibbons trying to come back down by 5. That didn't take long to take care of Baker. However, the damage was already done. It's a 4-run inning in the 6th, and at the end of 5.5, 5-0 Chicago. Film. Let's put the freeze cam right now on Deonna Navarro, and look at there. That's worth a highlight film catch. A beauty from every angle. So Navarro made that play back in the 1st inning against Marlon Byrd, wouldn't you know? But Navarro was unable to catch the ball that Byrd hit unless he had bought a ticket. So 5-0 Chicago, bottom of the 6th inning. And a strike now to Tony Gwynn. For Ted Lilly, who is certainly not an overpowering pitcher, he gives up 3 home runs today. And Ted has now given up 263 home runs in his career. A bullet down the right field line, a base hit, and a rabbit is loose. Gwynn into second and will hold on. Wouldn't make any sense to extend to third leading off when you're down 5-0. So young Tony, a double into the right field corner. For the Dodgers, their second double.
Second baseman, Aaron Miles.
Aaron Miles had one in the first inning. Aaron Miles 1 for 2 now. Gwynn getting a little razzing from Darwin Barney. 5-0 Chicago. Dodgers trying to come back, and here's Miles. Ball one. Zambrano this year has made 6 starts, and he's averaging 6 innings a start. So the Dodgers look in this weather and figure he might be catchable from here on in. 2-0 the count to Aaron Miles. And now Soto going out to talk to the big man. Hung-Chi Kuo gets up in the Dodger bullpen. So Kuo testing his back and arm. Don Mattingly spoke to the press before the game and talked about Jonathan Broxton. Jonathan came in today, complained about some right elbow pain to Stan Conti. Didn't give a length of time that it was bothering him. But you may remember when the Dodgers were on the road, it was kind of a memorable quote because of the use of the word. Don Mattingly, in talking about Broxton, said he had a barky elbow. So that was when they were on the road. And now, obviously and apparently, Broxton's arm is bothering him again. One other thing Mattingly said about Broxton's arm, it's too quick to say whether it would be a DL situation. 2-2. That's fouled away. We get a report now on Juan Uribe. Uribe drilled in the 4th inning, and he has a contusion of the left hand. The hand, of course, is such a complicated mechanism with all the little bones in there. Get hit on the hand, you never know. A cracked bat and a flare into right field, base hit. And the Dodgers have runners at first and third, nobody out as they try to come back. And now they have Givens, Kemp, and Carroll. Here's Uribe getting nailed earlier by Carlos Zambrano. Just rode in there and got the left hand. He also got chopped up a little bit on the hand on that slide. So it's been a tough day for Uribe. Jamie Carroll takes his spot. First and third for the Dodgers, nobody out, and here's Jay Gibbons, who has struck out twice. And ball one. Five runs, 8 hits for the Cubs, no runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. Fouled away. Jay playing right field for Andre Ethier, who's out with the sore elbow. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ball 2. Miles at first. Gwynn down the line from third. And a little foul out of play. Matt Kemp on deck with a chance to get the Dodgers back in the game. Matt so far, fly to center, fly to right. 0 for 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's lifted to left field. Coming in is Soriano, catching it on the run. Talking about on the run, coming to the plate to score is Gwynn, and that makes it 5-1 Chicago. So Gibbons, a scoring fly ball to left field. Dodgers had only 1 run last night. Now here comes Matt Kemp with Miles at first and 1 away. Matt hitting .358. Ball 1. Matt Kemp coming into the game against Zambrano was 5 for 9. So he's 0 for 2, 5 for 11. 2-0 the count. Jamie Carroll filling in for Juan Uribe. So Carroll is hitting 5th in the lineup. Rather unusual spot for him. Necessity demanded it. 2-0. Miles at first, 1 away. A little ground ball to right side. The shovel for 1. Win it for 2. First double play turned by the Cubs. And the Dodgers settle for 1 at the end of 6. 5-1 Chicago. By Chase. Deposit checks from your smartphone with quick deposit. Take a step forward and chase what matters. The Cubs lead the Dodgers 5-1 as we go to the 7th inning. Ted Lilly goes out of the game having surrendered 3 home runs to Soto, then the solo by Pena, and then the crusher, the 3-run home run by Marlon Byrd. So here is Hung-Chi Kuo. In the last 2 years, Ted Lilly in the daytime has an earned run average of almost 6 and 2 and 5. And it was a tough day for him, 89 degrees. So now Kuo is out there facing Soto. Ball 1. What is maddening for Ted Lilly, who is very much a thoroughly professional pitcher, meaning he's not going to overpower people. He really has to pitch. He would be unhappy to look back through his performance for this reason. Ted allowed 8 hits. On none of the 8 were the Cub hitters ahead in the count. In other words, Ted had them and they got away. 4 of the 8 hits came on the first pitch. 1, the count was 0-1. 1, the count was 0-2, and then 2, the count were even. So Hung-Chi Kuo out there now in the 7th inning for Ted Lilly. And that'll be ball 4 to Soto. A reminder to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday, May 15. Dodgers and Diamondbacks. The first 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive a James Loney batting practice jersey, compliments of Dreyer's Grand Ice Cream. Call 866-DODGERS or go to Dodgers.com/promotion. So James, so far today, 1 for 2. Trying to get out of his slump. Here's Soriano, single left, struck out. 0-1 the count. They're looking at Kuo battling Alfonso Soriano. Interesting, he has never faced him. Oh, and 1. Alfonso single, grounded out, 1 for 2. Fouled away. Soriano with 11 home runs and 21 runs batted in. Of the 11 home runs that Soriano has hit, 9 have been with the bases empty, and 7 led off an inning. Fouled away. New supply of balls being brought up to Dan Iasanya. No balls and 2 strikes to Alfonso Soriano. It's 5-1 Cubs. We're in the 7th inning. Breaking ball, little slider, down goes Soriano. So 1 out, and the batter will be Carlos Pena.
First base number 22, Carlos Pena.
Good late break on that, just caught the corner. Pena has flied to left and homered. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, Carroll, Loney, and Navarro. Dodgers overshifted to the right. Ball 1. Jamie Carroll almost behind second base. Mitchell all alone between second and third. And a very light breeze blowing out to right field. Cubs scored 1 in the 5th and 4 in the 6th. If you're just joining us, tuning in, whatever, Andre Ethier did not play today, nor will he play. Irritation of the left elbow. So Andre will carry his 29-game hitting streak to New York, and I'm sure he wanted to play today against Zambrano. I mean, when you're hitting .438 against the starting pitcher, you don't want to miss an opportunity. Meanwhile, Zambrano so far 1 for 2 today. A long fly ball out and a line drive single, and he came home on the home run by Bird. 3-0 the count. They might green light Pena. They're leading 5-1. High strike. 3-1. Only one out here in the 7th inning. And another strike. 3-2. Runner holds, and the ball fouled away. So Soto walked, Soriano struck out. Pena up there at 3-2. And the switch hitting pitcher Carlos Zambrano on deck. Zambrano is not only a switch hitter, he's ambidextrous. Three and two. Runner is not going. And down goes Pena. The Quo strikes out 2. And here comes Zambrano. They say that when Zambrano is not pitching and he shags fly balls in the outfield, he throws the ball back into the infield left-handed. So he just protects his valuable right arm. And a strike. Winner of a Silver Slugger Award. 6'5", at least 255. Very nice play. So in the inning, no runs, a walk, and thanks to Loney, that's it. And at the end of 6.5, 5-1 Cubs. Cubs. They lift Jeff Baker out of right field and put in Tyler Colvin.
Shortstop number 14.
Colvin is hitting
Carroll.
135 as he picks up for Baker. And in the bottom of the 7th inning, it'll be Jamie Carroll, James Loney, and Deonna Navarro. Hung Chi Kuo, a good workout there in the 7th. Made 17 pitches and struck out 2. 1 ball and no strikes. Jamie Carroll was supposed to be off today. Juan Uribe playing short. Uribe hit on the hand in the 4th inning. So Carroll pressed into service, and this would be his first at bat. Jamie hitting .286. Strike. 1-2. Zambrano coming into the game was bothered by right-hand batters. They were hitting .297 against him, but he has pretty much shut the Dodgers down. Left-hand hitters only .203. Fly ball to right field, so welcome to the game, Tyler. 1 out.
For the Dodgers, first baseman.
James Loney has single a lap, grounded out, 1 for 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Mike McDougal begins to loosen up. Loney with Navarro on deck. James 1 for 2, hitting .209. Made that good defensive play on the ball hit by Zambrano to end the top of the 7th. Oh, and 1 to count. Zambrano working quickly, and that's a fly ball to right. So Tyler Colvin had 6 innings off, comes into right field, and immediately gets 2 fly balls. And the batter, Deonna Navarro, fly to left, fly to center, 0 for 2. When the Cubs bat in the 8th, it'll be the top of the lineup, and that means that man again, Marlon Byrd, will be 3rd coming up. Navarro 0 for 2. And ball 1. Navarro a switch hitter, so that helps as he backs up Rod Barajas. Fastball 1-1. Zambrano hit 91 on the gun with that pitch. Foul back. Zambrano has had 1 inning where he made 18 pitches, 216. He's also had an 8-pitch inning and a 10-pitch inning. Off speed, slapped into left field, base hit. So with 2 strikes, he comes back off speed, and Navarro pushes it into left field. And Russ Mitchell starting at 3rd base today, coming up. Mitchell fly to center, foul to first, 0 for 2. Jerry Sands comes out on deck. He will bat for Kuo. But of course, there are 2 outs in the inning. Fastball 0-1 to Russ. Zambrano trying to win his 4th, but more importantly, trying to win on the road again. Remember, he came into this game having won 9 straight, and he's leading 5-1 after he has left the friendly confines. Things really look up for him. That's a strike. So he has Mitchell 0-2. And that will do it for Mitchell. You know, they say, we were talking about him being ambidextrous. They say he can throw left-handed 80 miles an hour. And he's leading 5. Giovanni Soto with nobody on base in the 5th inning. Then Carlos Pena buried one into right field. And then the big one, Marlon Byrd hits a 3-run home run. Put it all together, and the Cubs lead 5-1. The Dodgers have used Lilly and Quo, and they go to the bullpen now for McDougald. Meanwhile, breezing along, Carlos Zambrano has made 97 pitches, and he's leading. Marlon Byrd, as usual, giving the Dodgers a bad time, and he'll bat 3rd here in the 8th inning. So McDougald, in his 13th game, born in Las Vegas, lives in Marco Island, Florida. Originally a first-round pick by the Royals out of Wake Forest University. 6'3", 190, and he is 34 years old. It'll be Starlin Castro, then Darwin Barney, and then Marlon Byrd. Castro flied to left, single to center, flied to left. He is 1 for 11 in the series. And a strike, 0-1. Remember, it's Throwback Wednesday. Both teams wearing uniforms that the organization wore in 1944. And that's going to be caught by Aaron Meyer. One away. 1944, the Chicago Cubs finished 4th, 30 games out of first place. And the next year they went to the World Series in 45 against Detroit. The Dodgers in 1944 finished 7th. But their right fielder, Dixie Walker, won the batting crown. Barney is 1 for 3, single to right field in the 6th inning. Ball 1. So the Dodgers, struggling last night, lost 4-1. And they're down today 5-1. Little roller by the mound, tough play, gunned over there, but too late. Russ Mitchell making a fine effort, but Barney, with those young legs, able to beat it out for an infield single. And now here comes Marlon Byrd. So a runner at first and 1 out. Marlon Byrd fouled out Great catch by Deona Navarro. Then he struck out, and then he struck. He hit a 3-run home run in the 6th inning. That was his first home run of the year to give him 8 runs batted in. So for the Cubs, Soriano hit a home run in game 1, but that was his 11th. Last night, Pena hit his first. And now today, Soto, Bird, and Pena home run. The paid attendance today, 28,419. 28,419. It's been Lilly, Quo, and now McDougal, and Carlos Zambrano on the mound for the Cubs. 1-0 to Bird. Off the plate, 2-0. Marlon Bird plays very well against everybody, but boy, he is a nightmare for the Dodgers. He came into the series hitting .389 against the Dodgers. Then he started this game hitting .382, and he's in the driver's seat now, 3 balls and no strikes. Went to Georgia Perimeter Junior College and lives in La Jolla. (3-0) and ball 4. So McDougal puts him aboard. Runners at first and second, 1 out, and Aramis Ramirez coming up. By the way, when the Dodgers come up in their half of the 8th, there'll be a hitter for McDougal, then Gwynn and Miles. Ramirez struck out in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 5th inning, walked in the 6th. Hitting .284 with a home run and 11 runs batted in. And a strike. Ramirez with Tyler Colvin hitting back of him. Ramirez, highly talented. When he broke in with the Pirates, he was only 19 years old. 0-2. Ramirez battling weight. A couple of years ago, well, actually it was 2003, he took off almost 30 extra pounds. Now at 33, or he will be, he's about 215. Down he goes. Big day for Dodger pitchers as far as Ramirez is concerned. They struck him out 3 times. So McDougal picks up a K, and now Tyler Colvin makes his first appearance in the series, finishing up in right field for Jeff Baker. Tyler Colvin is out of Augusta, Georgia, lives still in North Augusta. Might very well know Jonathan Broxton, who's from the same town. Tyler went to Clemson. Ball 1. Came up to the Cubs in '09. Tyler last year had 20 home runs for Chicago. Fouled away. When you talk to Colvin, he'll tell you that he owes his baseball career to his grandfather, Jerry. In his home in Augusta, Jerry has every one of Tyler's jerseys framed, every trophy he ever won, every baseball card. Used to pitch to his grandson. had a great deal to do with his upbringing. Tyler Colvin. 1-1. Two and one to count. Tyler said that one time with his grandfather pitching, he had a line drive that struck his grandfather on the foot and drove the toenail back into the toe. And grandfather said, every time I put on a sock or a shoe, I look down and think of young Tyler. Big fly ball, the wind will cut it down anyway. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We have 7.5 played, and the Cubs lead 5-1 behind Carlos Zambrano. One run, Ted gave up 5, and of course for Ted Lilly, he gave up 3 home runs. A 3-run job to Marlon Byrd, pretty much cooked his goose. Strikeouts about the same, only 1 walk by Lilly, but the home runs the difference, the muscle. And Zambrano, having made 97 pitches, will now work on Ivan De Jesus. First ball swinging, slicing drive down the line. Colvin in the corner picks it off. The Colvin comes in. He's got 3 putouts in an inning and a third. A reminder, Tuesday, May 17th, Dodgers and Brewers. It'll be Clayton Kershaw bobblehead night, courtesy of Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions or call 866-DODGERS. 1 away here in the 8th inning, and Tony Gwynn the batter. Tony playing left field, grounded to second, grounded to first, doubled to right, and scored the only Dodger run. One and 0. Ball 2. Dodgers leave tomorrow. They'll play the Mets and the Pirates. They'll be home on the weekend of May 13th. That's Friday the 13th. They open up with Arizona, then Milwaukee and San Francisco. 2-1 the count. Tony hitting .254. Way off the plate, ball 3. Zambrano hit Uribe in the 4th inning, but he has not walked anybody. Not all the way now. Zambrano does not have a complete game this year. hit foul in 6 previous starts. He averaged 6 innings a start, and here he is breezing along in the 8th inning. His pitch count is up to about 104. 3-2 to Tony Gwynn. Way outside. So there's their first walk given up. That perhaps their first sign of fatigue. Down in the bullpen, Sean Marshall and Kerry Wood. Marshall, the left-hander. We saw Kerry Wood in relief last night, and you can see the pitch count now. It's up to 105. So with 1 out, a walk to Gwynn. Aaron Miles is 2 for 3, doubled and singled. Miles had 10 hits against Zambrano prior to today. So Aaron locked in on the big right-hander. And first ball swinging. Guess who? Hove in again. So he just gets in the game, and he has 4 putouts in an inning and 2/3. The only out he doesn't have is when Mitchell struck out.
Number 31, Jay Gibbons.
So 2 out, 8th inning, and Jay Gibbons coming up, playing right field instead of Andre Ethier. And Jay struck out twice, then had a fly ball to left field deep enough to Soriano to score Gwynn. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Vicente Padilla begins to warm up. Another pop fly to the right side. It will be the second baseman, Barney. So Gibbons doesn't hang around, neither do the Dodgers. And we have 8 innings in the books. 5-1 Chicago. The combination of Carlos Zambrano and the center fielder Marlon Byrd giving the Cubs a strong 5-1 lead in the 9th inning. Vicente Padilla will take over on the mound for the Dodgers as Zambrano sits back in the cool of the dugout, having gone a very strong 8, limiting the Dodgers to just 1 run and 5 hits. 3 outs away from his first complete game of the year. And of course he loves to hit, and he's due to bat 4th here in the 9th inning. Down in the pen, Kerry Wood and Sean Marshall stop throwing. So Vicente Padilla, as the Dodgers rearrange their furniture now. Ivan de Jesus is at second base. Aaron Miles is at third. Russ Mitchell is in right field, so you can put Padilla in Jay Gibbons' spot. Five to 1 in favor of the Cubs. Soto, Soriano, and Pena. And when the Dodgers come up in the ninth, Kemp, Carroll, and Loney. Dodger hitters were very anxious in the 8th inning. Zambrano made only 10 pitches. That's an out. Nice play by DeJesus. 1 away. But the interesting thing about Zambrano, leading 5 to 1, the temperature 89 degrees or thereabouts, and all 3 outs made by the Dodger hitters in the 8th inning were on the first pitch, and they resulted in 2 fly balls and a pop fly. So in a sense, they gave the big guy a break. Gwynn, remember, took a 3-2 count and walked, but the other 3 just couldn't wait to take a swing. That's a strike. Soriano single to left, grounded to third, struck out, 1 for 3. The Cub bullpen up again. Foul back. 0-2 to Alfonso Soriano, hitting .259, 11 home runs, 21 runs batted in. Soriano has been very frustrated. He didn't do it today, but he's grounded into 5 double plays already this year. 0-2. The other frustration is the fact that most of his home runs have come with the bases empty. 9 of 11. 7 leading off an inning. And down he goes. So Soriano strikes out for the 2nd time today. He has struck out 29 times. Breaking ball got him. And the batter now, Carlos Pena. Pena flied to left. Home run. Struck out. Without a home run coming into the series, Carlos hit one last night and again today. There's the soap bubble, but it missed. Ball 1. The gun says 57, more like an hourglass. 1 ball and no strikes. And Padilla follows a 57 with a 94. Meanwhile, Carlos pacing in the shadows. And it looks like he will give way for a pinch hitter. Reed Johnson, the former Dodger, is out on deck. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball fouled away. So you walk up there and you get a 57-mile-an-hour bubble. And then Padilla come back with 2 middle 90 fastballs. 1 and 2. To repeat, Kemp, Carroll, and Loney in the 9th inning. Darwin Barney is as far out into right field, and only the Dodgers' Ivan DeJesus has gone out more, and Ivan is really out there. He's playing shallow right field. One and 2 to Carlos Pena. We're in the 9th inning, 5-1 Chicago. too long. Time granted. Plate umpire Dan Iasanya. Lilly, Quo, McDougal, and Padilla. Breaking ball, 2-2. 5 runs, 8 hits charged against Ted. Quo made 17 pitches, struck out 2, did not give up anything. McDougal pitched 1 inning, gave up a hit and a strikeout. But Mattingly needs runs. Dodgers got 1 run last night, and they've gotten 1 today, minus the services of Andre Ethier, out with a bad elbow. So Pena strikes out. Padilla gets 2 strikeouts, and we are heading for the bottom of the 9th without Zambrano. 5-1 Cubs. It's over for Alfonso Soriano in left field, coming into the game at the same time as the left-hander Sean Marshall. Though Marshall making his first appearance and has to get 3 outs. Matt Kemp will be the first to test the left-hander, who happens to be 6'7" and he weighs 205 pounds, out of Richmond, Virginia. Lives in Chesterfield, Virginia, and went to school at Virginia Commonwealth. He has a brother, also a left-hander, who was in the Red Sox system. And even though he's 6'7", Sean said he never really played much basketball at all. Starts with a hook off the plate, ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Matt Kemp, 2 fly balls hit into a double play. Lifts 1 foul out of play. 1-1. So the Cubs on the edge of taking 2 out of 3, which would mean the Dodgers and the Cubs split their 6 games for the year. And for Mike Quade, after losing a tough first game, he could leave here with a modest 2-game winning streak. 2-1 the count to Matt Kemp. For Sean Marshall, he'll be 29 in August. Been with the Cubs, first came up in 06. 2-2. Sean was a business major at Virginia Commonwealth. His brother was a twin. Or is it twin? Ground foul. In 2006, when Marshall came up to the Cubs and also pitched in Iowa, he got quite an education from listening to Greg Maddux. How to warm up, how to think about hitters. 3-2. Interesting, too, Marshall said when he was growing up, he was a big fan of Don Mattingly. 3-2. And down goes Kemp. So it's a long day for Kemp and the Dodgers. Matt goes 0 for 4. 5 Dodgers have bitten the dust as Marshall picks one up. And now Jamie Carroll, who flied to right field in the 7th inning, replacing Uribe, who had been hit by a pitch. And for Mattingly, he has 1 out in the 9th inning, featuring a team today that just didn't figure they were going to do much scoring against the likes of Carlos Zambrano. And if Zambrano wins, if Marshall just holds on to any part of the lead, Zambrano will have won 10 straight on the road. That goes back to August the 14th of last year. The franchise record for the Cubs, Guy Bush, had a 13-game road winning streak. 1-1. That's a strike. Carroll with Loney on deck. Jamie 0 for 1 and hitting .283. Pulled foul. Still 1-2. Carroll with his foot in the door here. 1 out in the 9th. 5-1 Chicago. Facing Sean Marshall, who signed a 2-year deal with the Cubs this January. 2-2. Basically fastball, slider, curveball, and a circle change, where the index and the thumb touch on the side of the ball, the so-called circle change. Got him. So Marshall comes in, strikes out Kemp, strikes out Carroll, and the Dodgers now have Loney coming up with 2 out, 9th inning. Good breaking ball. See what Marshall has done this year. He came in with an earned run average of 0.7, and in 12 2/3 innings he has not only struck out 14, he has walked 1. Oh boy, he's been a machine. So here's Loney, single to left, grounded to second, fly to right. Big curveball for a strike. 0-1. Sean Marshall. Nice easy delivery. One breaking ball follows another. 1-1 the count. Last year, left-handers hit .196 against him. Loney has his work cut out. Fastball hammered to center, base hit. So James goes 2 for 4, and with 2 out in the 9th inning, Deanna Navarro will be coming up. So Navarro, a switch hitter, will turn around to bat right-handed. Navarro flied to left, flied to center, single to left. The winning pitcher stands to be Carlos Zambrano. Zambrano in his career at home is 49-42. His record on the road takes your breath away. Carlos Zambrano should win today. That would make his career on the road 71-33. That's an incredible .755 winning percentage. Loney at first and Navarro. For Navarro, this is his first at bat right-handed this year. Another breaking ball. 2-1 the count. So he's thrown that fastball to Loney, and it almost took his head off. After throwing Loney breaking balls, after striking out Carroll with a breaking ball, and getting Kemp on a breaking ball. So now 2 balls and 1 strike to Deona Navarro. 5-1 Cubs, 2 out in the 9th. Fastball, big chopper to third. The play to first, and that will be that. No runs and a hit for the Dodgers, and the Cubs come in and win 2 out of 3. So 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors for Chicago, 1 run, and of course remember the Dodgers got only 1 run last night, so they are hurting. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. Zambrano gets the win. Ted Lilly suffers the loss. A reminder, stay tuned for Dodger Live coming up next. Good afternoon, everybody.